Welcome to the AFoOL podcast. This is episode 12, and we're going to do a little retrospective and maybe look at a couple vintage sets. And we're going to discuss why Russian nesting dolls are so full of themselves.
What's up, guys? Mardi Gras Man 23 once again on BrickTrains' channel for another episode of our AFoOL podcast. That's adult fans of old Lego or old guys who enjoy Lego.
Yeah.
So I'm Earl. This is BrickTrains' channel. That's Joey. Of course, you know him. And up in the corner, sporting his newly Atlanta Hawks as the season begins.
Yes.
Looking for Dominique in the rafters. It's
I'm on the bandwagon.
Beginning of the year, when this is going to air, it's been a long year.
It has been a long year.
Yeah. I know the things that I was worried about at the beginning of the year quickly got forgotten.
I know. Well, I'll tell you something interesting that I've never seen before, and I think it has a lot to do with COVID. I think it's more production. I've been into a couple of Targets over the past weekend, and I have never seen the shelf so bare.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no clearance to look forward to because
I think that's everywhere. Yeah, the shelves are empty at Target, and yeah,
I think a lot of it. My daughter a couple days ago, well, about a week ago now, called me and said her USB drive, which is connected to the network, had failed, and she's panicking because she's got several years worth of pictures on it. So she brought it to me, and I, get the hard drive out of it, and I recover the pictures, blah blah blah. But to replace it is hard. There's just not enough. There's not a lot of electronics available. So I think also, like you said, along with the production, there's just everything's hard to get.
I wonder if it's the production or if it's the importing because of the COVID bringing stuff over or whatever. Maybe.
I know where I work, and we make polycarbonate, clear solid sheet polycarbonate. We are busier than our year this year was double our last year, and it's double what we're projecting to do next year. We just had to, because of the face shields and all the stuff that you see like in the restaurants and stores and stuff. So it's been tough.
Yeah, I guess if you're into plastic, it's been a good year.
I get.
People with Bricklink, they're talking about how this has been their best year. The people that sell Bricklink.
Everybody's stuck at home.
Yeah.
So
anything that's related to that. So that may be why. Maybe people are doing more with video and home stuff, and they're saving that on their USB drives. And
could be. Well, speaking of at home and stuff, we were just talking about when was the last big event? That was
last one we went to was Brick Fair, Alabama. I think there were a couple after that.
Couldn't have been many.
No, couldn't have been many.
All the rest of the brick fairs were canceled. Next year's, let's see, January's is canceled. Yeah. That would have just been in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
As it airs,
everybody'd be getting their mocks ready to go right now.
Yeah.
And I had planned on going to the one. What's the one out west in Oregon?
Bricks Cascade.
Yes, we were going to go there this coming year.
Oh, that'd have been cool.
My wife was like, "Oh yes," she was like, "I want to go there," because she wanted to see the sights around that area. And that didn't happen.
It'll be back. Give it time. I just wonder if it's going to come back as like it was before it went away. My favorite commercial is when how it used to be, and it's like 2019 with the guy getting up in the stand. Excuse me.
Yep.
There's like nobody in the stand.
Well, I guess our vintage set from the vault is 310. And
which 310?
Oh, here we go again.
So, how many are there? 5?
Too many. 5, yes.
5.
There's 5 set 310s.
So how many of them do you have?
2.
I think I have 3 of them, I think.
I have the
Let's see.
Esso filling station and the motorized truck set.
Yeah.
You mean you don't have the pendant?
It's the sympathy pendant. I have got to get that one now. It's $42 is the cheapest one on Bricklink. So I don't. Thank you, Joey, for talking about the motorized truck set, and now here I'm looking at a Scala set.
So you don't have the tugboat?
I think I have the tugboat.
I thought, well, it looks familiar, but not that I have it, but it looks like something that I've seen on your channel.
But the motorized truck set, that's actually an interesting one.
Which one?
The
truck
one
set?
that you picked, the motorized truck set.
Well, hang on. Let me pull it up. Kaz is going to get mad at us if I don't show a picture of it.
Okay.
So that's the same battery pack that ran the trains.
Yes.
The early trains.
Yes. The set came out in a good year.
It did. 1969.
Yep.
So the year I was born. So there's a picture of it. And
you know, if this set came out today, it would be numbered in the 60,000s.
It really?
Because it's a combination of 4 sets.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it would be a kit or whatever, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you both have this one?
Yes.
Let me get.
I have the set and the 5 sets it makes. Of course, they're not boxed inside there, but there's the transport truck, the tow truck, and there you go. That's even better. Got it in hand. Oh, check that out. He's got cellophane still on it.
Look at that.
I took. I'm gonna make a mess. I took all the books and put them in bags. The cellophane was already broke open, so I didn't break it open. But yeah, all new parts. There's the batteries.
So you're never going to build it now?
No, but
I'm sure he's got another one.
How well you know me, Earl?
There's the truck. Does it have the pin on the little steering plate on the bottom?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Can you build everything? Can you build everything at one time?
You can build the 3 sets.
You just can't motorize them all at the same
time. Right.
Yeah. There's the oh man, I broke it.
Uh-oh.
So were they sold separately also?
Yes.
Yes. And that's what these are. These are the individual.
I got you.
I don't have the little what is it? A dump truck. I don't have that one extra or loose.
And the motorization of those is kind of sad.
Well, so go back to 1969. That was probably pretty cool.
Yeah, a kid running around holding a wire connected to his truck. You can only go in one direction.
Well, you say that. When I was a kid, there was those remote control cars were the cheap ones. You'd buy the one that actually had the frequency. Heck, yeah, it actually had the frequency, and that one was like double the price of the one that was on a cord. They still had those. So it's not that I say it's not that long ago. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the end of the 70s and the 80s. You guys you're not that much older than me.
No, I would have grown up in the 70s. I can remember we had the cars on a string that went in a circle. I don't even know what they were called. I had one that had a Sprite car. It looked like a little Indy car, but it had Sprite stickers on it.
Is that I've never had these, but I saw the actual motorized. They were like, I say go-kart engines because it was like a little actual engine on a car that was so big, and it just is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
it ran off gas.
Ran on a little gas. Yep. They were very loud, and I don't know that you really played with it as much as you just watched it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, So that's a set that you can piece together pretty easily, actually, because all those sets are pretty common that were in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had done that. I'd pieced it together, and then I said, well, I want the box. And with how it is with eBay, you're finding things and they're not complete, which I was like, it's okay. I just want to get the box. And then I ended up getting 2 boxes and 2 complete sets. And I put one of them that had a really nice box. I put it in my Bricklink store. This was years ago.
And you forgot it was in there.
Yeah. I had it at $300. I was like, nobody's going to buy this. And somebody bought it. And then I was like, I feel guilty. You see what they're on now, but I don't know what the condition is. But for a used one, not one, I think yours is in super condition. So
it's in really good condition. I wouldn't consider it sealed or anything. But
well, sets like this, you almost have to have the box for a lot of these types of sets, because without the box, there's a lot of them that just parts packs.
It is, yeah. I mean, there were a few pieces in here. That piece you were just asking about, if it had the little pin, that little spring return, that little pin's always kind of broken. But you could still buy those fairly easy on Bricklink and stuff. The instructions in the box are the key value to that.
Yeah.
And the boxes are harder to get now.
Yeah. So I've pieced together a lot of sets like that. And today I got one of those comments like I can't reply right now. I gotta make sure I think about my reply. Somebody was criticizing me for buying sets that had common parts that were complete sets. Like, why didn't you just piece that together instead of paying a premium price? I did reply to it. I said, where did I say I paid a premium price for these?
Right.
Like, these little sets that have 20 pieces, why pay $3 for one when you can piece it together? I'm like, it's $3 set. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Is that the one with the fancy packaging?
No, that was that was an eBay one. There was the one that the guy charged me way too much for shipping.
Oh,
he actually refunded me. I asked him about it. He was super cool, and he said he made a mistake and refunded me.
And especially since he left the price right there on the postage. I mean, not many people do that who are.
He didn't tell me what he did, but I assumed that he went on to USPS, did the shipping calculator, because he paid postage at the post office, and I think he did the shipping calculator. Probably did it for priority mail, and then he shipped it retail ground, and it's a huge difference. And so he didn't. I don't think he intended to rip me off.
Yeah, you made a comment, and I think it was that video about the astronomical. There's a guy who had some stuff I wanted for my train shed, and he was the guy who had the most parts, and a couple of them were outrageous, but most of them were. But his minimum buy was like $200.
Oh my God.
I was like, what?
He just doesn't want to mess with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, what's the purpose? But I guess, like you said, if somebody's willing to spend $200, it's worth your time, I guess.
If you're doing a BMR boxcar or something, or a big project, $200 isn't really that big of a deal. When you're looking for a couple pieces, like you were for that train shed, or something specific, then $200 is a big barrier to.
So I'm gonna do some homework for the next one. I know both of you have the train shed, and I have one too. But parting it together, there's a part. It's a chrome, some kind of little chrome round cylinder. And I went through the instructions, and I can't find where that thing goes.
It's not part of the building. It's part of the interior. I think it's part of the lathe, isn't it? And there's a little lathe.
Yeah, okay, because I could not find it in the instruction book. I was like, I know I have it, so I've got one in the box. It's put up. I don't feel like going to dig it out, so I looked through the instructions, and
I think it's in the lathe. I think it's supposed to be the piece that the person's making in the lathe, if I remember right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Yes, let us know.
Speaking of parting together, here's one that I'm working on.
Texas Rangers got Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. I have the box and then the 2 stickers.
Hey, you got the 2 hardest parts to get.
You're on your way.
I've started.
Mine's the conveyance, which is an odd name for a set. I have the hardest part, or 4 of the hardest parts to get. I got the base plate and the 3 stickered bricks. It's set 1601. And there's a seller speaking of $200, there's a seller in Thailand who's from Germany who has a store that has reasonable prices in massive quantities of stuff and a lot of old stuff. And if you buy $200, it's free shipping worldwide.
Wow.
And so there was a couple of things that I had in my cart, but I wasn't even up to $100. So I just spent a day at work going through his store, and
we might
after I placed the order, that I found the other part that I needed from the conveyance.
What'd you say the part number was?
The set is 1601.
So BrickSet calls it factory.
Yeah. I think Bricklink.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Hang on, let's share this screen. So Kaz doesn't.
And it's the same error as yours.
Yeah. Pictures provided by Hugh of BrickSet.
So you bought those
wheels.
You bought those parts, and so you
So
don't
I
have
bought this. It took a few years, but I finally got all the. I'm sitting there pointing you can see me pointing. See where it says Schmidt and Company,
right? Yeah.
There's 3 of those bricks. There's 2 on the truck and 1 on top of the building. They're 1x6s. The base plate has dots that are specific to that set.
Oh.
And then the little winch, the crane,
up here.
Yeah, that black. It's in black. It's only in 2 sets.
That's the other one you got.
That's the one I got in the other we're talking about.
So could you buy another one of those and just
and it's crazy. They're only like a quarter, but all the sellers are in Europe, and one of them I just placed an order with, and I'm like, oh. He didn't have it though. He didn't have it when he added it later. I'm like,
oh man.
And it's also got the black headlight brick, which it's not as common as the red and the yellow and the white.
So are you sure the tailgate doesn't have any printing on it?
Oh, yeah, it could say Legoland. No one, yeah.
So that's the black headlight brick with the chrome, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's a pretty neat looking set.
So you were doing a video the other day, and you were talking about I think it was the red headlight with the black printing. Was that the one that was?
Yes. There's somebody selling them. On Bricklink, but I don't know. It doesn't list it as being in any set.
Right, because there's a lot of the pictures of the Samsonite sets show it that way, red with black instead of chrome. And I personally, and I'm not I'm not the be all end all of anything, but I've never seen the red with the black printing. I always assumed the picture just came out poorly because it was hard to.
And that's what I had a lot of people say, well, it's got to be the photograph.
That's what I thought when I was looking at watching your video. I kept looking at it thinking that I think it's just the glossiness of the paper or something, and it's probably supposed to be that way.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Bricklink has it listed, but I hadn't seen anybody selling one.
I've seen it. I have them in white with black.
Sure, yeah.
Don't know about red. I wanted to buy. There's only a handful of people, and I'm like, do they have it listed wrong? But I had bought things because I knew it was probably not right, and I got it, and it wasn't right.
It's like the pink, right? Is it pink or is it really pink?
Yeah. So I was when I logged into Bricklink today. The #1 trending thing on Bricklink was a 1x1 pink plate. I'm like, what is that? what is that? Why is that trending?
Is Julian doing something with it?
he gets classic pink. Now he doesn't get classic pink. He gets bright.
Yeah,
pink. It's still So it's not just my login.
No.
Look at these 4 parts.
So how do they? How is this? What causes this to be trending? I know you just asked that question.
This is worse than YouTube trending.
It's got to be. You would think it's those have been added to the cart, and their algorithm must be this. These are the most common parts that have been added or bought in the last so many hours. You would, I mean, but that's logic. So that doesn't mean that's how it works.
Pink's not common.
No. This is old pink.
And look at
and then the green, the I don't know. I call that a what is it called? A tile modified pentagon.
one of those Nexo Knight shields.
Yeah.
So, is it possible? I'm trying to think what the pink would be, but a red and a green. I wonder if there's some kind of Christmas ornament or something that was on Pinterest. These are like odd. These are the pieces to make it or something.
All right, there's probably something on one of the somebody's made instructions for that includes these parts.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the trending minifigures.
That makes more sense. Statue figure.
Yeah.
E.T. the droid. Yeah, the sets make sense.
Yeah, especially Wow, roller coaster. Woo!
So talking about the roller coaster, I haven't looked for a lot of stuff on Lego, but is the Lego shop at home sold out of everything still?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's pretty bad.
See, that goes back to what I was saying about Target. It's got to be. You just wonder if it's production because of lack of workers in the factory, or if it's
right.
They can't. It's produced, but they can't do nothing with it. They can't get it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be one or the other.
Right. Let's just do the Lego art. That's the new one.
Speaking of, so I went to a Target in Gulfport, and that's where 2 Lego or aisle and a half of Lego. One aisle was completely gutted. Probably had on both sides of the aisle maybe a total of 10 sets. On the other aisle, there's a whole row of Beatles.
Well,
so there's hope.
Yeah.
They're sold out.
Yeah.
Drop it home.
I guess they've done well. They sold their stock of them.
So out of what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different sets.
2 haven't really come out yet.
Yeah, 2 are not out yet, and you can still get the Marvel, but everything else is sold out. So it's.
So we know you're not getting the one, but what about the Marilyn Monroe? You're on the fence. You're going to get one.
I don't even know if I'm going to get the Mickey Mouse one.
That's the one I was going to ask you about. Are you going to get?
I'm going to get 2 here.
I know you are.
How many colors are in it? It looks like it's only got 5 colors. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
I see a little bit of yellow and gray in there.
Is that the?
Oh yeah. So this got that's the little thing that tells you the colors. It's got 8 colors. Wait, 9. Yeah, 9.
Yeah, 9. Do they all have that little gold?
What's the so if you got to buy 2 to do Mickey and Minnie, is there a big one that needs 4 like every other one?
I haven't seen anything like that.
So this is what I learned in building 6 of these. That brick separator is garbage. And that's why they included that little gold bar, because you don't ever. I guess that it's intended for like if you wanted to rebuild it into one of the other characters without buying another thing where you can take multiple pieces off. So many times I put a thing one stud off, and I just need to take that one piece off, and I'm sitting there. Let me go get a regular brick separator. That thing's So they put that chrome crowbar, or not chrome. What was that?
Pearl gold
crowbar in there to.
So is that the only sets that colors available in?
I don't know.
Crowbar?
Yeah, not the crowbar, the metallic gold or the chrome gold, whatever that one is.
I don't think I think it's like he said. I think it's the pearl gold.
Pearl gold.
That set won't be on the Bricklink inventory yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are any of them on the Bricklink inventory yet? Because they're pretty new.
The ones that the ones that already come out don't have it.
Okay.
Oh, they don't have it.
Oh.
The ones I bought don't have it.
Okay, so that's only in the ones that are coming. Maybe that was. Maybe they.
I think it's a complaint.
I think they. Say, you think they listen to somebody's feedback?
Mm-hmm. They do. They actually do. If you, it's like Kevin Hinkle said. If you call and complain, that is more likely that something will get done. And they do listen when people complain about the sets.
So have they listened? Okay, so it seems to be, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like the VIP program has gotten that much better. It seems like, well, it was in the beginning, everything, it seemed to be very hard to redeem your points, to they would expire and everything. I had redeemed points. I was ordering something online. I made a mistake. Imagine that. Got a voucher for in-store purchase. But I wasn't going to the Lego store. And, it was a $20 coupon because I was buying in, something 30 or $40. I was like, well, I'll just get a $20 coupon, use a few VIP points. And then I was like, got the email and everything. I was like, oh, man, this is for in-store only, not for online purchase. So I was like, okay, well, you just learned a $20 mistake, whatever, moved along. Fast forward several months, maybe even 6 months later, me and Heather were we were in St. Louis, and we stopped in the Lego store, and we just picked up a few things, and I showed him my VIP card, my old VIP card, and he's like, okay, scanned it, and he goes, hey, you got $20. He said, do you want to use that? I'm like, yeah.
It didn't expire.
It did, but I didn't have to have the coupon or anything.
Okay.
And even then the instruction said, present the coupon, here's the number. But at some point, they knew. I mean, it was a terrible rollout and requirement.
When
it first came out, it seemed like it was such a high barrier to just use it.
The only problem I have with it, aside from not knowing how many true points you have versus dollars, is when you want to use it, you have to make sure you select the virtual coupon for the online versus the coupon for the in-store. I mean, why do they have to have that option?
I don't know why you can't use one or the other.
Yeah. Every other department store, grocery store, movie theater, whatever it's one gift card that you can use in both places.
Right. Right. It seems like too, if I click on the VIP thing now, it just kind of takes me there. It isn't. It's used to, in the beginning. It felt like it was two different things.
They did reduce the number of clicks to get to what you need to get to.
Yeah.
I still, and they did whatever improvement they made. they did something to make it worse, because you know how they have old gifts with purchases that on the site that you could buy with your points.
Yes.
I bought several.
Right.
And now when they, like, for instance, the Stranger Things, it's not worth it, but I bought one to have it because I collect that. I only wanted one. So I'm mad about something that I don't even need to be mad about. So I could go back there all these months and got another one if I wanted to. Now they're saying, oh, you've already bought one. And so anything that I buy, that you can't buy a second one now. They've limited you to one.
Well, makes no sense. Well, they've changed that. The only one I took advantage of was the VIP Lego guy or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, and I got two of them.
Yeah, that was a good deal because it was like $5 essentially.
Yeah.
I hate the limits. I understand. I understand a little bit where they don't want one person. I don't know how one person can afford to buy out all their stock, but I guess they don't want a small group of people buying out a large amount of stock, and then certain, then other people who come along a few days later can't get even one. But
even having it makes people mad because people like this was a special promotion, and then like 2 years later, now all of a sudden you can get it.
You can go buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like where did it was out of stock.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy when you go in and there's all those things that are they're retired, but they're still on the website. Like order it. Nope, sorry, it's retired. I'm just showing it off. Take it off. Quit using the space.
Yeah.
You know those the artwork,
Yes.
the prints and stuff. Let's say you wanted 2 of them. You got to place 2 orders.
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
That's not. So I said a little bit, and they got a long way to go to make it.
So it doesn't take me long to find a fault with the VIP.
Yeah.
I haven't spent my. I'm like you. I will try to spend my points when there's not a double VIP thing going on, because I want to get the new modular.
Right. Well, and that's kind of why I've been kind of nosing around in it. I bought that. What was it? The metal keychain turned out to be a silver plate or something.
I know. I was like, oh, I thought it was a brick.
Brick. Yeah. I saw your video. You were like, oh, it's a brick.
It was still nice, but it's like
I hate to say it, but some of those videos are like the best. They're classic. They're like it's like such a they go both ways. Some of them are such a shock to you that it's awesome, and then some of them are such a disappointment. It's like this is classic. I mean, it's just real. It's real reactions.
I wait, open things live, and I usually don't edit it out, even when I do stuff that's stupid.
So I guess after when this airs, we'll have already done it. But are anybody going day one to the Lego store?
No, I'm not. I'm like I told you, I'm still behind. I'm in no hurry. I want it, but I'm in no hurry.
I got the points to pick it up, so I definitely want it, and I'm gonna get one. I haven't decided.
Well, if you order online, you better get online at like 12:01.
Well, do you? I've done that before, where I've got home. I get home at midnight on certain shifts, and I've logged in, and nope. And I won't even be there till like 9 or 10 o'clock in the afternoon for me. I don't know what.
I don't know. I just hear stories from you guys. Stories from you guys about it's sold out. You wake up and it's already sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I'm not a day one guy. I don't have to have anything on day one because I'm not. Those people are just for the ones who want to be the first to review it. But nowadays, most stuff's already been reviewed by the time it hits anyway.
All the land people have already built it and showed it. So
okay, you said it, so I'm going to ask the question: did the land change? Because you had made a comment about. Well, let me back up. I feel like there's a certain YouTuber that is going to change the way he does his videos next year to not promote his store, and I felt like maybe you were that person was trying to gear more towards the land. So I wanted to see what the requirements were for the land. Just being nosy because I have no intention or no interest. All I could see were applications for groups, online groups, physical groups.
Recognized media.
Yeah, recognized media was one. I never saw an application for like an ambassador.
Well, the ambassador is the person in those different categories that represents that company. So and when you think of like a YouTuber, it's usually just one person.
Right.
But like a website.
Okay.
You could have several people working for the website. I always get confused. Andres with Zumbabak, the tall guy from Germany.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I couldn't pronounce it either.
Yeah, he's got other people that do videos. So I was like, okay, so he's expanded his blog to he's got more people.
So if you were to do it, then you were looking at the media one then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just confused. I didn't know.
Your lug, you got 100 people in your lug. You're only going to have one ambassador to represent the lug.
Yeah, yeah. And then the application requires 2 people. You have to have a secondary contact
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, and so that's why I was confused. It's like, well, how does a person become an ambassador? It looked like to me you had to be a group, or in your case, like a website or YouTube channel or something.
Yeah. So I got somebody sent me something because somebody who's just started and who heavily promotes their Bricklink store, heavily promotes it. They got in. So
really,
yeah. So I'm like, but I don't see myself ever trying again.
okay.
I'm gonna. I don't want to talk about like on my channel. I'll talk about here.
You're not on your channel.
Yeah, you guys watch a lot of my videos. Have I been talking about selling anything to you?
No.
To the viewer?
No.
And I really feel like I was like that all along. Now, I did mention Bricklink and the store, and you can buy from the store. That helps me out. But it's like I don't even do that now.
Right.
And that's the way I'm going forward. It's going to be like I don't have merch shelf. I would like to have done all those things, but I'm just like this year. I'm just going to see what it's like to not do anything.
Right.
Just make my silly videos and go on.
So what is the advantage of being in the land? Anything other than just the prestige?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Okay. All right.
The advantage.
The advantage that I see, just look at, Just Too Good. you get sent stuff early.
You don't have to buy it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I see. Is like you get early access to sets apparently for free, so you can show everybody and review them. And that's
now I should say, to be honest, there is a cost to that, and it's a cost that I might not be the type of person that would have been willing to do it. And this is why some people have been kicked out of the land. They send you the set, you got to give them feedback. So there's a report they want you to give them back about that set. It doesn't take you long to do it, but you got to do that with everything. And then they want to get statistics for, like, if you're a YouTuber, they want your statistics for that video that you did about it. So it's not.
You're putting forth a little bit of effort.
Yeah, you got. They're getting something in return for you getting that set.
And
it's fair.
It is. Yeah. And I, being in a manufacturing, I know what it costs us to make something. I know what we sell it for. And I don't know what Lego, I don't know their cost and all that, but
there is a lot in between them.
They're going to get a lot more value out of any information that you return to them.
Right. And so that's why I appreciate the ones that are critical. Not that you critical in a balanced way, because there's one YouTuber that's critical about everything, but it's like you're sent this set. It's easy to go, oh, this is the greatest set in the world.
Sure.
But I think a lot of them do a really good job of, like, if they think it's a bad value, they tell you. If they think there's problems with it, they tell you. And Lego still sends them stuff because it would look bad if Lego's, well, you're going to say bad stuff about this. I'm not going to send it to you anymore.
No, yeah, that would be a PR nightmare for them.
Mm-hmm. There's things that you can reach out for that you think you want, and then if you get them, you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. So I give you examples. That Mattel box I got in my alter ego got.
Right.
And in the emails with them, I'm like, they said no strings attached. You don't have to do this. Is just a gift. You can do whatever you want to with it. And then when I got it, it was like almost like signing a contract, and I was like, no. I emailed them back. I was like, you got this long list of things that I can or can't do in a video. And it's like, and then she wrote me back, and she was like, no, you can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I'm like, okay.
You got a boilerplate type email or documentation from them, and that they send to everybody. And it's like, they wanted you to be honest.
I still don't understand what happened with Lego Masters Fox, that thing, because that was the only time I've really signed a contract, and I still didn't understand it.
Oh, you mean the big gold box that you got?
Yeah, what was that all about?
I don't know. It's terrible marketing. they wanted to send you that to promote the show, and the whole thing had things about being paid, and I was like, I wasn't paid. They just sent it to me, and
that was very limited too, wasn't it? There wasn't a whole lot of YouTubers.
As far as I know, there are only 3 people that got it.
Wow.
3. I have scoured the internet, even other places, to see if anybody else like non-YouTube got it, and I can't find it.
You should list it for like $2 million.
That's probably in the contract.
Yeah, he's probably
I could give it away, but I probably couldn't sell it. I signed something on that one that I don't.
So back to the Lego website. So the Power Functions is retiring.
No. I mean, I said,
Oh, yes. Yeah,
so we're going strictly to the hub now.
Apparently.
Which doesn't. I actually tried to order a motor in my VIP order, and it was out of stock, and it was supposed to ship. And then I guess 2 weeks after, you get it's going to ship later. 2 weeks later, I get unfortunately, it's not available anymore. So it retired while it was on back order, apparently.
So yeah, here you go. Out of stock. Out of stock. Out of stock. Out of stock. 2 of them. All the controllers, the battery boxes, the motors. It just keeps on going. Out of stock, and then they're retiring soon too. I think if you go to where is that at? Where is the returning? There it is. I think. Did this not just come out this year? That wooden guy?
Yeah. If you use your VIP points, don't you have a chance to win one of those?
Yes. Yeah. All righty. I'll get right on that. Oh, these are going to be way at the bottom. Oh, there's only 3 pages of retiring soon. Yeah. So the Mindstorms.
Yeah.
And there they are, all retiring. We knew it was coming, but
yeah,
out of stock and retiring soon.
There
End of an era.
Is the one thing I didn't see in there, I guess, is already discontinued, the rechargeable battery box. You remember that?
Yeah.
I must have retired a while ago.
I think it I think it retired within the last year. I think it did.
I can't find my transformer for that, and nothing I have fits in that little hole to charge it. I don't know where.
I have. I was getting ready to say the transformer, the charger retired before the battery box did. So,
you got a battery box that you can't charge.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming they assumed you would buy multiple batteries, and we do. We have 4 or 5 batteries and like 2 chargers, so we're always moving around because we use the power function on the layout quite a bit. We have it mixed. We have both.
So do all the new I haven't used any new motors other than the trains. Are they wireless, or you still got to have the battery hub on like if you're building a Technic model, do you have to have the battery hub on it for all the motors that run everything?
Yeah, there's a couple different hubs. There's a bigger one for like the new robots and stuff.
There's a huge one.
Yeah.
And then there's the control that's in the. And I didn't build it. Jacob built the remote control truck, which is super cool. I don't even know what the motor looks like because he built it. But it uses the control app instead of
instead of a controller.
Yeah.
So it didn't even come with a controller?
No. And that saves cost, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I worry about, in 20 years from now, will the app work?
Yeah.
Oh, that scares me. Yeah, absolutely.
So can you take the control? Have you tried to take the controller?
The 4x4.
Have you tried to take a controller from your train and hook it up to that hub? Well, I guess they don't have directional.
All of this stuff here is all Bluetooth enabled. So I think by the time all this stuff becomes obsolete, that somebody will have hacked it and have ways of controlling it with Bluetooth.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So my understanding is these are the two hubs, the big one, and then the one you get with the trains and stuff, and then this one here.
That's the Technic one. That might be the one that was in that set.
Yeah, but I think you can control all of those from. I think you can sync them all to the hand remotes to these things.
Okay.
I don't know that you get all the functionality that you do in the app. And isn't there a smaller controller and a different controller? Maybe not.
But some of the so you can use that controller, but not all of the sets come with it.
No, very few of the sets come with those controllers. Yeah, like the Crocodile didn't. There's several of them, but you get the sound control with the app and stuff.
But it's the nice thing about those, especially with the trains, is less parts that you need to power your train remotely now. Yeah,
it does make a lot smaller form factor. Honestly, it's pretty decent. I think it's probably the powered up or the power functions was kind of with the R infrared controller. I mean, it took a lot of wires, and it was. I don't know. We use it, but you need a
line of sight a lot of times.
Yeah, the line of sight. I've found it off the white ceiling. I can usually bounce it off the white ceiling, and it still works pretty good. So I do know if I walk from the layout into this office with the powered up, it will lose connection and the train will stop.
Oh,
I guess I get just far enough away. So
it won't run if you lose connection.
It shuts down when it loses connection.
So one thing's for sure, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, that people's hearts are not as broken over power functions going away as they were when it went away.
No, definitely not.
When what went away? You broke
9 volt.
Oh,
definitely not.
No, I tried so hard to figure out a way to run DCC over 9 volt. If you could take a 9 volt motor away and then actually put like DCC in it so you'd have remote, but I think the powered up is probably good enough.
You'd have to have the voltage is not right. You'd have to have a 12 volt or higher power source to the rails.
Yeah, well, you would right, but your motors were going to be coming from the DCC chip anyway. So as long as you didn't run it super fast, you wouldn't burn up the motor, right?
Yeah.
Because the 12 volt you're talking about is going to go to the controller chip, right? I don't know that much about it. I might be wrong.
The way I understand DCC, you just power up the rails. It's a steady current. Right. It makes it more even all the way around the rail. You don't have the resistance loss as much because you're just one constant voltage on that track, and then the chip controls it. So if you have the chip in there, I don't know if you got voltage settings where you can then send 9 volt to the motor. Versus 12 volt.
Well, the controller chip is what regulates the voltage to, because it's still just a DC motor.
Yeah.
So it's just the more voltage, the faster the train goes.
Yeah.
So the way I understand it, I could be completely wrong.
I've never installed a DCC board.
Boys, when my dad was still doing LGB, they were just starting to do their own version of it, and that was kind of how it worked. But it was a lot bigger, so it had you had a lot more amps to deal with. They had transformers that were 2 and 4 amps, so you had
you kill somebody with that.
You're getting good volts and amps there. Earl, you want to do the comments?
Yeah, let me pull. I had them. Let me see if I can pull them back up again.
Hopefully, this year will be better.
Yes, doesn't look like it's going to start out any better.
The Hawks are undefeated unless they lost. Falcons are going to get a good draft pick.
Yeah. Yes, they are. I thought, when they played Tampa Bay, I mean, how it's just. I get Atlanta. All you can say is it's Atlanta.
Sometimes I wish I would tweet things as I think them. I don't tweet, but like I was watching. This is unrelated to Lego. I apologize, but I was watching my Falcons play the best team in the NFL. Could have beat them.
Yeah.
And then they fell behind, and then they had an opportunity to kick a field goal. Their field goal kicker is the best kicker in the league this year. Hasn't missed all year, since early in the year, and I'm like, he's going to miss it. It was a chip shot for him. I'm like, he's going to miss it. I said that he missed it.
He couldn't even believe he missed it. He was shocked. I missed that.
I wasn't shocked. I was like, I knew this. I was like, I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, he's been. And I feel bad for him, but yeah, they would have just gone into overtime and lost.
So are they getting a new quarterback?
I hope so. I hope they get Justin Fields.
All right. So
what are they talking about?
Not a big sports fan, but I'm all right. It's
Susan B. David is one of the kindest, most interesting, and entertaining people I know, and that tree is looking gorgeous.
So he was super energetic, man.
He was.
He did it like a pro on here last week.
He was.
Yeah.
Sin Killer J.
Takawaka. I can't say.
Man, what a legend. In Talk. Love this episode, guys. They do take the inside tour participants to see the molding machines. We just aren't permitted to take any photos. I know when I was there, it was before different colors of roller coaster track had come out. And I saw a new color, but we had to sign signed agreement saying we couldn't tell anyone. Looking forward to learning more from you guys. That's pretty interesting.
That is.
So what I want to know is, if you go and you see something and you sign an agreement, are they going to arrest you? Are they going to sue you? I guess they'd sue you.
They'd probably sue you. There's probably something in the fine print, you know.
I bet you don't get to go back.
No.
Yeah.
And you definitely get a copyright. Take
Bricks Outside the Box says, great episode. So cool to meet Mr. David. That was really cool.
I'm glad we had him. And he's been texting me and stuff, and he's still really enjoying. He's gone full AFoOL there.
Has he?
Yeah. He's really getting into it, so.
And here we're back to the yellow and black. Dude Jude 20. Good one, guys. Sorry, Joey. Not it. Close though. Try again and keep up the good work.
I accused Dude Jude of changing his mind. I don't know. I'll have to investigate some more.
I forgot which one you said it was.
The big construction looking set 404.
I think, I was getting ready to pull.
So what are we working on? I have got a bunch of sets that I got cheap that I have to now go through and see what I'm missing or how close to complete they are. I got this one. I also got this one.
Ooh.
Boost. That was the other powered up I was trying to think of. Yeah.
And look at this.
It's got the big
Again,
yeah.
90% off.
90%. All right, man.
And it's got the thing in there.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I got that specifically for the roller coaster.
That's why I got it. After we talked about it a few weeks ago. So now I got to see how close to complete that is. So whenever you're talking about what are you working on, you're working on part. You're going into that set. What do you guys look for to come up with a set to work on parting together?
Well, for me, I'm going to look for the instructions in a box and just see if it's available. Is it easier to buy a complete set, or can I get the box and and that's what I'm doing with my 372.
So what made you want that one? What made you want that one?
Well, I picked up this catalog from a Bricklink order. I was ordering something from a European seller, and he had catalogs, and this was one that I didn't have. So I was like, "Yep, throw it in the box." Since I'm shipping from there, and I'm not gonna, I don't know if that's Danish or what that is. And yeah, I guess I could point my phone at it and ask it. But it had this picture right here. Trying to get that in there.
Mm-hmm.
It had that Texas Ranger set, and I was like, I remember seeing that. I don't remember. It was never released in the United States, so I didn't remember here. So it had to be in my AFoOL time frame that I remember seeing that. So that started me down that, and that set has these bricks stickers on these. What is that? A 1x6 and a 1x8. So I found a guy that had the stickers on the bricks, and
So set like that, Earl, that's the one, like, you get a few of the rare parts and then everything else is you can pretty much find.
I would say everything except the base plate and maybe those cowboy hats.
Yeah, the cowboy hats are a little harder, and you
Yeah.
get mixed up with the modern ones too.
Yeah, but everything else is going to be, if I don't already have it somewhere, it's going to be in those tubs. The tubs that Kevin Hinkle and well, Keith now and Julie and all, because I sort it by color, and they're like, oh.
Now, there are times I do wish I had sorted by color when you're looking for different parts to that era. It's not.
Well, you know,
Yeah, if I'm looking for a specific part, yeah, it's the worst way in the world. But I'm like, if I'm looking for gray pieces, I want my gray tub.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
there's times it would have been a lot easier when I was piecing together some sets recently if I had them grouped by color, because I'm looking for a light gray piece in a bunch of different boxes that have a bunch of different colors.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go pull the red tub, and I'm going to have half that set.
Mm-hmm.
So
what makes you get started on a set? Just one you don't have, or?
Yeah, it's usually one I don't have, and I'll piece together things, especially if you can't find anybody selling them complete, or there's only somebody selling one at a ridiculous price. And so the conveyance that we talked about, or whatever they call that set, 1601 that we were talking about earlier,
right.
I just got 4 pieces right now. But very soon I'll print out the list and just start marking them off, getting the common pieces. And it's not a lot. The vintage sets is a little easier because there's not as many parts usually. But yeah, I'm like everything in there I have except for that black crane or winch piece. And I don't know about the door. I'm not sure about that yellow door frame. I'll probably have to check that. But those red doors, I should have some of those. All the blue pieces, all the blue rails, I got all those. So it's just a matter of me taking the time to actually do it. The other time that I'll do things is if I bought an incomplete set. Then it's just, go get it.
Right.
That's what I did with that big Seaport set. Took about 4 Bricklink orders to finish that one, even though it wasn't a lot of pieces, because it was hard finding people that had. I wanted to buy it from as few sellers as possible.
Right.
That problem.
So yeah, that takes time too, to sit down with a box of pieces and you got to sort them out, then check them off your list. That's like a little project. It's a fun.
I print them out because you can check them off on your tablet or something, but
yeah,
you got to save it somewhere. Yeah. And it's usually easier just to keep that printed paper with your set, because then you go, I still need to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
there's like Texas Rangers right there. So did you have, when you got that bulk lot, and I saw that bulk lot on eBay, I didn't bid on it. I didn't do as much investigation on it as you did. But did you see those bricks in there?
No, that's not where I got those bricks.
Oh, those didn't come out of that?
No. That set had the 115 train.
Okay.
The 122 train, and the what was the other? Oh, that airplane that you already have.
Yep. Okay.
And then a bunch of it. So I actually bought it because it had the 115 instructions.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like I went from there, and there's like a whole bunch of other things in there. But now the Schmidt and Company, I got the single brick from the guy who actually ended up knowing me.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. He was excited that I had bought from this store. and I had the two. I found a seller years ago. I bought the two because I've always had the goal of getting all these sets that have the statue figures.
The Legoland sets?
Yeah. And this is the hardest one.
Is it?
Of the ones I have left to get.
Well, then you got the pieces then, right?
I got all the hard pieces.
Yeah.
So are you doing those one at a time, or will you?
Yeah, it's just, I'm slow, man. Yeah.
No, that's a good way to be. That's
because they're not, I actually have a little bit of satisfaction because when I look now at old stuff, I'm like, okay, I don't need to get that. I don't need to get that. So it's a nice, there's an end game to this.
And then when you find one of those, every one you make an order from, if you see any sets you don't have, you just add them if they're reasonable.
Yes, if they're, and then I'll sometimes buy extra parts.
Well, you all the time buy extra parts.
I have I got some ridiculous things that I'm going to be doing. So
where are you at on that list? Yeah, I know you're on the list.
Yeah, we never found any way of seeing higher on the list.
No.
All right.
I'm 277.
I'm 36.
So you're 250 above me.
And it's to get up to 35, I got to get 100 more sets. No, I take it back. To get up to 34. 35 is, I'm only like 5 behind him, but I'm at 4th. What am I at?
So, all that stuff you just got recently, you've added all that already?
Yeah, I add it as soon as I get it.
Hey, I noticed I was looking for something, so I hit the 2020 sets or 2021, and all those brick journals are already loaded. I think it's
the 2021 ones are?
Or maybe it was 2020.
Because I think 64 or 65 was the last one that's officially out.
Maybe it was.
Reminds me, I need to go buy an order. I need to order their. My subscription expired earlier this year, and I haven't renewed it.
So I thought my subscription had expired because I didn't get. When we started talking about that, I hadn't got the current one, and so I went on there and I re-upped my subscription. So they sent, and I said, hey, I need this back one. So they sent me the back one, and then they sent me a notification. And now I can't remember what it is, but it's like I have 2 years. It's only like 6 issues a year or something.
Yeah.
And I have like 2 years now because my subscription hadn't ran out. The post office had just taken so long for the issue. So now I have 2 copies of that one and a year extra brick journal.
Yeah, that's one thing that we could have talked about that. Post office is backed up.
I just got a shop at home order that was ordered on 12/4 or something like that. Just got it today.
Yeah. I was actually surprised to get some of the stuff I got this week because there's so much stuff that's.
Well, I must be in the epicenter here because I haven't had any issues.
You're in a central location that you're more central to the United States. What's Joey is too.
I'm dead in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have an eBay guy that's mad. Well, he's not mad. He's understanding, but it's like his package is in Massachusetts right now. I'm like, what's it doing there?
Yeah, I noticed that sometimes when you're tracking something, it's like, what? It's kind of like taking a flight. Why would you go that way if you're going this way?
What the post office told me is they got processing centers that have COVID that are closed.
Oh, okay.
And I bet you it's the central ones.
Yeah. I was going to say if I could.
I'll show you. I can't. I don't know how to show it. I'm going to look at my sets.
You should be able to share at the bottom.
Okay.
And when you share it, I have to add it.
Okay. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Share. Okay. Share screen. I want to share that one. Let me scroll up. So there I am, 36. It's 4,215.
Gee whiz.
4,229 is the next one, and then it's 100, over 100 to get it. But if I can get the thing, if I could go through and do things that I already got, and
right,
those I could knock a lot of things off of here. But see number 12. See what 12 is? 5,517. So if I get up to right here, 25, I will be able to see who's number one. That's what I want to do, but I don't want to cheat.
So you're right. Yeah. You don't want to cheat. Yeah.
And with that many sets, I'm sure you don't glance at what they have to see how did they get that, or man, I can't believe I don't have that one.
Some of them, like we'll click on David here.
I actually, and I don't remember where he was at. I was actually within a few of Hugh, and
I was close to. I was close to him on something.
Well, I was gonna say he must have moved up because I mean we're 2,000 sets apart.
Yeah, he's
double the number.
He's close to 4,000, I think.
Yeah, so I actually saw his. Maybe I thought it was him. It was just looked like it was his handle. So
it's funny when I look at some people's sets. They all look like my sets. But I don't have those as I own them. But this one I'm getting. I got the instructions for that.
Right.
I got the parts for this one. I just never pieced it together. But he doesn't have a lot of the low number sets. So that's what I do. I put when I see something like I need to put that on my wanted list.
Yep.
But I'll look at what other people has. But you get up to where you can stop sharing it if you want.
I'm trying to find the button. I gotta remove
my location. Oh, I gotta stop sharing it, don't I?
No, I got you off. You're good now.
I'll stop. I'll hit stop there. But I forgot what I was going to say.
You were adding sets that you saw to the wanted list.
Oh yeah, I see on other people's. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When I get to where the base plates are, they'll have like every different variety of the base plate, and I'm like, well, I know I got some that are sealed base plates, and the green base plate was released in like 4 or 5 different numbers. It's the exact same base plate.
Base plate, yeah.
So should I count all 5 numbers of that?
I will only put it on there if I own it. If I own either the box or the instructions. Mm-hmm. If I don't have one or the other, I don't consider I don't have it. Now I know that but I also I don't know. I have sets that I don't have the box or the. Mm-hmm. I have the parts. That's not how I collect. So
all those boxes of instruction, all those comic boxes of instructions that you showed, is that all from the sets that are in your, or is that just when you bought?
The vast majority of that is stuff I've parted out.
Oh,
it's mixed with some of the boxes do have those sets, and some of them are instructions I don't have the set. So I have got to come up with a system for organizing all that.
So that's your instructions for stuff you have in tubs that you sets of that you own mixed with your Bricklink part out.
There's some of those instructions that came in bulk lots that some of the parts were there. I don't know how much of it, and it's one I'd have to Bricklink them together, but it's
that's like a week's project sorting those things.
I did pretty good this past week. I got a lot of the 300 sorted. That's easy. The 300. I only got to get up to what are they up to now? 80,000.
Yeah.
I want to get all the old stuff organized first, so I'm going to work on the Lego Land sets, the Maxi figure sets, the low number sets, the train. I'm going to put I'm thinking about putting all of the train instructions together, and those go wide range of numbers.
I just sit there. I just picture you in the basement thinking when you started putting those in those comic books boxes, how great an idea that was. now you need an instruction booklet, and you're like, well, I got 6 boxes. I know it's in here somewhere.
That's why you got to have them in some kind of order. Like they're just okay, all the big ones. Here's a bunch of big ones together. They're not even in numerical order. And when I had them in my Bricklink store, I did have extras that I had in my Bricklink store. I had those in a comic book box just like that in numerical order. And so when somebody ordered an instruction manual,
Right.
just like looking for a comic book.
Right.
I'm doing the stickers because I don't have any intention of putting instructions in my Bricklink store. But the stickers, I've just been putting those in the sleeves, the clear plastic sleeve, comic book sleeves, or whatever you want to call it. And I've just been putting them in Bricklink under the page number.
That's exactly what I do with the stickers.
Yeah, because
page number they're in a binder.
Yeah.
And
I just have them in a stack in a Ziploc bag, and when somebody buys one, I have to go looking through them all, the whole pile. But it's not like they buy them all the time, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody I saw they just had a book, and they would put it in between the pages of a book, like any book, like
just a random book,
like this book, and they would
pages on.
Okay, that's on page 30, and that's where that is.
That's pretty smart.
Locations to Kill a Mockingbird, page 15. Hey, so just a little clarification or some housekeeping from past episodes where I've talked about Bricklink and the ACM, and I said you could export and import. Hugh turned off the import feature. He did a database update, and to better
secure.
Yeah, I'm sure security. He said his database was getting very bloated with empty. Because everybody that put in there, I own 4 sets, but they didn't put any information in. But the database kept recording those 4 records and was holding empty spaces. So he's changed the way that does it, and I guess it broke the import feature, and he just hasn't got back to fixing it. I know 44 people have, or at least I was the 44th person who have suggested that he fix that. Now, 44 out of thousands of people, I'm sure, is giving suggestions. I don't know how high a priority it is, but hopefully you'll get that turned back on. He said he's going to work.
Just tell Hugh, it's the best website for keeping track of your Lego inventory. Good job, Hugh.
Yes, excellent. His website is really good. I mean,
it is, and it's not like it bogs down. I mean, it flows pretty good,
Yeah.
And I mean, I've never looked for something that's not in there. You two might have, because
I find stuff all the time, and then I'm like, oh man, do I need to submit pictures for this? I probably need to do that.
Just email them to Joey.
Yeah. I don't want to give Joey more work.
Yeah, 64 Bricklink or Brick Journal issues later.
Yeah, so that was 60. Yeah, that was 60 plus items that weren't in there. I could probably, in a short amount of time, probably find like 20 to 30 things that aren't in there. And some of the things I know that nobody wants to mess with, like Lego pins, gear, other types of gear like that weren't in.
Yeah. Well, and Hugh's completely reliant on people to put that in. So, because the main source, I believe, is just the new stuff's all coming out of Lego for him. So.
Well, as long as all the Galador's in there.
Still need one more set.
You still need one?
Technically, I need 2. One was never made, but somebody got a hold of one. Now, don't let me go down another rabbit hole here. And another one was made but was pulled from the shelves, so it exists in the wild. And the guy had it for like $200 on eBay, and I didn't buy it on it, and then it sold. Actually, it was $1,000, and somebody bought it for like $200, I think.
Wow. Oh yeah, there was one I saw. What was? There's a poster, a space poster. I think it's 1,100 or something. And that's like, really? I'm sure I can get that on Bricklink for $5.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost going to hit an hour and 20 minutes here. We were going to keep it
better. This is a short episode. This
episode. You will get us out of here?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we want to thank everybody for, again, watching another AFoOL podcast. If you're a fan of old Lego, be sure to subscribe to BrickTrains. Also, Mardi Gras Man down below. We never know what we're going to talk about from week to week. If you have a suggestion for something, be sure to leave that as a comment below, and we will definitely have something to say about it. I can guarantee you that. But check us out. We'll be back again with another AFoOL podcast.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.